And we are back. After experiencing many technical difficulties last time, hopefully I haven't figured out. I'm not sure. So we'll proceed until it crashes. Right? So I'm going to try to make the show a little more condensed this time. Give your news, then the interview, and then the random thoughts. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to try to squeeze it into 30 minutes because I kind of ramble, especially as I have my little session, get that medicine up in me. For the interview today, I'm doing something internal. Is this mic working? Yes. So there's this movement going on about getting your elders and your family story told. So, and it's a trip when you think about it. Like my kids, the life I led growing up in San Bernardino, like they don't even believe. Nor do I say a whole lot, right? Hold on. I'll make sure I stay. Yeah, there we go. I don't want it to be the audio to be nice when I play it back. Right? So if you think about where we've come, just the intergenerational. Oh, by the way, I cut my bush because I want my homeboys talking about me, especially my man Ron always telling me how dusty I look and I need to comb my hair. Speaking of which, sorry to digress. Getting off topic here real quick. But I think my boys is gay. Them niggas use conditioner. That's a poll I need to do too. Do men use conditioner? I've never put conditioner in my hair in my life. I always thought conditioner, first of all, it's not a real thing. It's basically just shampoo with grease in it. It's just a shampoo that's hard to rinse out. And it's for women. Now my boys have got all these hair products. And I think it all started with Axe body spray. See, my generation missed that. My kids' generation, the boys is like girls. You understand? They they be doing they be having like products. It's consumerism. I've never thought to put conditioner in my hair. Now, as my homeboy Ron would say, you look dusty. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a man. Do y'all men put conditioner in your hair? I just shampoo and grease. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, so this is moving to capture your elder story. So I figure who better talk to my pops. Now, I'm going to keep it short and sweet with him because he's an ornery old man. Okay. But we're going to talk about a little bit of family history. And we're going to do this like once a week because I figured, we can just use live stream and just use because like I want to do certain things for the family and capture things, but I'm never going to do that. Right. I'm just too lazy to scrapbook or do a family tree. This is not going to happen. So we'll use Google and Facebook. They will be our bookkeepers for the future. So without further ado, the first thing we'll do in the news today, we're going to talk about this whole Rona situation. And I got some critiques of both the right and the left. Now, I've got a few comments that I'm going too hard on the Democrats where people think like maybe I'm a Republican or something. That could be furthest from the truth. I just think that while the Republicans are just knuckle draggers and just buffoons, the Democrats are more infuriating, I guess, because they had a chance. You have people within the Democratic Party and people trying to change the Democratic Party like Bernie Sanders, where you had people, the majority of the people were with him as far as the policy. He just couldn't close the deal. So it's just more infuriating that people like Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, and the Chuck Schumers of the world, these tales from the crypt, old, funny looking, weird talking, out of touch folks still call the shots. So I'm going to go a little bit back and forth. So without further ado, I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to do this Fauci Rand Paul video. Now I'm going to stop it along the way. I thought it was very illuminating and to shed some light on where I think the Republicans they they made a tactical error. Let's go.
With regard to going back to school, one thing that was left out of that discussion is mortality. I mean, shouldn't we at least be discussing what the mortality of children is? This is for Dr. Fauci as well. You know, the mortality between 0 and 18 in the New York data approaches 0. It's not going to be absolute.
Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to, Rand Paul is doing a textbook version of sounding smart but not saying anything. Right? This is sampling magic. Right? I'm in statistics and data analysis. This is a trick that they play. And by the way, what's up with the hair? All right, let's go.
0, but it almost approaches 0. Between 18 and 45, the mortality in New York was 10 out of 100,000. So really, we do need to be thinking about that. We need to observe with an open mind what went on in Sweden, where the kids kept going to school. The mortality.
Now, here's a sampling slide of him. He mentioned Sweden as his sole example. He doesn't mention, let's say, a South Korea, which is a much more densely populated place, per their exposure and their risk, might have done the best job, maybe next to New Zealand and Finland, where I'm going, by the way. So you can always cherry pick information to support your case. So let's keep listening.
Per capita in Sweden is actually less than France, less than Italy, less than Spain, less than Belgium, less than the Netherlands, about the same as Switzerland.
And what he fails to mention is that some of those countries that he listed that are doing worse off than Sweden also didn't stop the kids from going to school.
Basically, I don't think there's anybody arguing that what happened in Sweden is an unacceptable result. I think people are intrigued by it, and we should be. I don't think any of us are certain when we do all these modelings. There have been more people.
That's what you call straw man argument. So what I'm doing here is teaching you guys how to think critically. Nobody said anybody was certain. Now, I'm not, all on the side necessarily that we should stay shut down forever, but I've yet to hear any Fauci or anybody else say, I'm certain of this. It's just data and you make predictions. Let's go.
Wrong with modeling than right. We're opening up a lot of economies around the U.S., and I hope that people who are predicting doom and gloom and saying, oh, we can't do this, there's going to be a surge, will admit that they were wrong if there isn't a surge, because I think that's what...
And that goes both ways. And it's probably more important for those that are predicting based on nothing but a hunch that things will be fine when they open back up prematurely and things go left and people start dying at increased rates and it does start affecting kids. Will you admit, Rand Paul, that you were wrong?
Going to happen in rural states, we never really reached any sort of pandemic.
No shit, it's rural states. You guys social distance by zip code. Nobody wants to live there. Therefore, well, people want to live there, but it's less dense than obviously in New York or Chicago or in LA. So by virtue of the distance, you're going to have less opportunities for a contagion. That's
levels in Kentucky and other states. We have less deaths in Kentucky than we have in an average flu season. It's not to say this isn't deadly, but really outside of New England, we've had a relatively benign course for this virus nationwide.
Is Florida in New England?
And I think the one size fits all that we're going to have a national strategy and nobody's going to go to school is kind of ridiculous. We really ought to be doing it school district by school district, and the power needs to be dispersed because people make wrong predictions.
Well, if you disperse the power, are you going to then rely on who to make the decision? Is it school? Is it the district? Is it principals? Is it the school district level? And who are they basing that? Where are they getting information from to make that decision? And I'm going to get to that whole point about staying in your lane.
Really, the history of this, when we look back, will be of wrong prediction after wrong prediction after wrong prediction, starting with Ferguson in England.
No. The wrong prediction was Trump when he said this shit would go away with the weather. What about that wrong prediction? You just gently glossed over it, just totally ignored that. Yeah, there's been some wrong predictions on the upside, but what about the downside? What about the folks who said this is no big deal and that it'd be gone in April?
So I think we ought to have a little bit of humility in our belief that we know what's best for the economy. And as much as I respect you, Dr. Fauci, I don't think you're the end all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision. We can
I love how people say shit like, as much as I respect you, you ain't shit.
listen to your advice, but there are people on the other side saying there's not going.
What is the other side? See, that's the problem with the politicians. They only can see things in binary terms. We're done with the whole, 911 moment. Now it's time to get into our tribal camps and go left, right, because you got to reduce everything into a binary choice.
A surge and that we can safely open the economy, and the facts will bear this out. But if we
Will they? It sounds like somebody's certain. It sounds like somebody made a prediction with certainty, which you just alluded to previously.
Kids out of school for another year, what's going to happen is the poor and underprivileged kids who don't have a parent that's able to teach them at home are not going to learn for a full year.
There's a lot of truth in that, but also a lot of presumptions and a real cognitive dissonance with what poor people need. Do poor people need to be put into harm's way if it exists, catch a disease, and then face a much greater risk of death? If you're really concerned about poor people, you would give poor people money. So it's disingenuous to say that, although there's some truth to that, because your lower income workers are the ones that are most likely unable to quote unquote work from home, and also the school meals feed the kids breakfast and lunch typically. So there's some truth to that, but it's a little disingenuous coming from Rand Paul.
And I think we ought to look at the Swedish model, and we ought to look at letting our kids get back to school. I think it's a huge mistake if we don't open the schools in the fall.
On that point, I agree. Not because it's right or wrong, but I could not deal with from another school semester. They got to figure something out. I don't give a shit. They let them kids go back to school with gas masks.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I respond to that even though there are only 32 seconds left?
Yes, and you might make it clear whether or not you suggested that we shouldn't go back to school in the fall.
Well,
now, when you listen to Fauci, just a minute left, he destroys this guy. And the reason why, I always try to reduce things to unifying theories of everything. And I told y'all before about capitalism, for those that are fans of the show, that the unifying theory of capitalism for me is big bank take little bank. Now, the unifying theory of persuasive arguments is stay in your lane. If you just focus on what you are an expert in, you can't lose. Once you get out of your lane, that's where accidents happen. Let's go.
first of all, Senator Paul, thank you for your comments. I have never made myself out to be the end all and only voice in this. I'm a scientist, a physician, and a public health official. I give advice.
Now, the little troll dig there that you may not know, Senator Rand Paul is a physician. He's an optometrist, a mall doctor, basically. So he's big boying him here.
According to the best scientific evidence. There are a number of other people who come into that and give advice that are more related to the things that you spoke about the need to get the country back open again and economic.
Basically, what he's saying is that's not my job. I'm just here to tell you facts.
I don't give advice about economic things. I don't give advice about anything other than public health. So I wanted to respond to that.
There you go. I'm going to leave right there. Y'all can watch this clip. Just Google Fauci versus Rand Paul. Fauci destroys him just off of the strength of staying focused and staying in his lane. Okay. Now, so that's the critique. And just to follow up, where I think Trump and the Republicans have blown it, because I think Trump was doing okay, honestly, for he fucked up at the start, then he kind of found his sea legs, and people were, watching him and focused on these briefings and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, he's got like ADHD, and he had to get the economy going just by sheer force of will. The problem with that is, from an emotional, tactical standpoint, if you kept the economy shut down, there's always that hope that, okay, shit is bad now, but once the economy opens up, when it's safe to do so, then things will be better. So here's what's going to happen now. The economy's basically, slowly but surely opening up in a kind of scattered way throughout the United States. But ain't shit gonna change. Because here's my poll too. Let me see if I can do this shit. I'm gonna put a poll up there asking y'all. God damn it. Oh, here it is. I don't know if it worked now. Oh yeah, it did work. So you go to Facebook, you'll see the poll. You click on that poll, and I just asked you, if the economy does open up, are you going to go to a restaurant anytime soon? I don't think people will. And I think next to buying houses, America's economy is built on entertainment. If you don't go to a restaurant, all the people who go to restaurants can't go to Home Depot, and then it's a domino effect. So now they're opening up the economy. All these people who are protesting and all that shit, God forbid they get sick. Or even if they don't get sick, they won't see their lives rebound. It's not about the economy being opened up. It's about people feeling secure that they can actually go out and live their lives like they were previously. That ain't going to happen tomorrow or next week. And you can't make anybody. So these pseudo libertarian types are like, give people the choice and we want to go outside and play. Okay. But then here's the dirty little secret. The people who pay for everything work from home or have the ability to work from home, the managerial class. Those folks are the money that undergirds everything, their spending habits. They don't need to go to your comedy clubs and sporting events and restaurants. They got nice houses. They got all the cute little kitchen stuff. They got big TVs. And they're not trying to get sick and die. They got shit to lose. So if they don't go out and spend money, so what? The economy's open up. And then you'll see the desperation set in, where the folks who were clamoring for this opening or expecting everybody to agree with them and rush out and go hug and swap spit and handshake. Nah, that's not going to happen. Now, so that's it with Republicans. Now let me show you the Democrats. The infuriating half responses in the bullshit they try to prove or try to do to make you think they're for the people. All right, so here it is. Congress introduces new bill requiring cash refunds from airlines. That's a little late. Now, when you read the deal, it tells you it's retroactive to March 1st. But here's the problem. Let's go through this. I got it backwards. Okay, this is a Senator Edward Markey, a.k.a. Malarkey. Said, in light of this pressing need, an unprecedented multi-billion-dollar bailout, it's absolutely unconscionable that airlines won't give customers their money back. Oh, really? You thought they were going to willingly? Remember what I told you about capitalism? Big bank take little bank. The airlines weren't going to do shit. That was your job when you wrote the first 3.5 bailouts worth trillions of dollars. The rich people already got their money. Now you want to scramble when all the money's gone and try to help out the regular folk? It's a little too late for that. Let's keep going. Hold on. So check this out. The new bill would make the right to request a cash refund retroactive through March 1st. Now, pay attention. Pay attention to this part. Sounds good so far. So that travelers who have previously asked for and received a traveler voucher can change it to a refund, provided that voucher is unused. That's a lot of conditions. Now, here's the problem with that. Not everybody asked for or got a voucher. a lot of people, like yours truly, wanted their money back. So the middleman company in my situation, Avago, wanted to charge me a service fee, what they call their standard fee, which fluctuated from 100 to 150 to 175 back to 125 from the 4 different representatives I talked to. Eventually, they agreed to give me all my money back. When I threatened to sue them, I filed a report with the Department of Transportation. I did the credit card thing with my credit card company. Then they gave me all my money back. So for people like were my situation who weren't as steadfast, let's say they capitulated. They said, all right, I paid a $100 fee. You're shit out of luck because this legislation is so specific that you have to check all the boxes, meaning that you have to ask for, have received, and not spent your travel voucher. So it's a big to do about nothing. And finally, here's the kicker. The cash refunds for coronavirus cancellations would allow airlines to pay for the refunds using emergency money made available by Congress. So not only is it a half-hearted, very narrow bill for the people, the airlines can pay the refunds with the money they got from the people. Here you go. All right, so that's it for news I'm going to cover. Now I'm going to dig into this interview with my pops, and we're going to talk about family shit and go from there. Without further ado, pops.
Oh, what?
One
There's
more.
a delay.
Is a delay?
Yeah, big delay.
We'll just try to,
Yeah.
grind it out. I'm having all these technical difficulties. I'm about to just go ahead and get a new computer. And I just paid for the increase to gigabit Ethernet from, I don't think maybe it's the internet. I don't know. But I got the most expensive internet I can get. And it's just still ain't working. So I don't know. All right, Pop. So what made me think about this too, I was watching The Simpsons. And do you watch The Simpsons?
I used to. I don't like.
Oh, they had a little lull in the middle there, but they're back. They're like, it's like classic Simpsons. But there's the episode of Maggie's digging into her past, and she was trying to find a good Simpsons in their family tree. There's a bunch of like criminals and degenerates in the.
Sounds like mine.
There you go. So without further ado, now you remember those pictures you sent me, right? Do you got in your head those pictures you sent me?
Yeah, I got them in my head.
Okay, so first I'm gonna jump into these pictures. We're gonna talk them. So we're gonna go in no particular order. I'm gonna put a picture up, and then I'm gonna ask you just to describe the setting and a little bit about that time. All right. So right now
All
on the
right.
screen you can't see it. I'm gonna go with here we go. It's a little boy in a straw hat standing next to, it looks like an old car, and a woman with two braids, it looks like.
Yeah, that's me and my mom.
That's your ma?
That's at Mardi Gras.
That's Mardi Gras?
Yeah.
What year is that?
I was about, um, I'd say 7 years old, 7, 8 maybe.
So was that
Yeah.
1948, 49?
42 and 8 is 50, right?
In public school,
1950. 1950.
you just said 7. Oh, you said 7 or 8. You're right.
Yeah. I'm just taking yeah. And that delay is messing me up. I apologize about that. So.
Yeah, it'd probably be all messed up. But did you watch my last show?
No, I didn't watch the last one.
It glitched out. Like, do you remember Max Headroom back in the 80s?
Yep.
That's what the joke was like. Now, first thing.
What else you want to ask me about that first photo?
I'm looking at right. I'm not finished. Relax. Cool your spurs there, Punchy. Now, where? Look at that hat. Did you buy that or did you make it?
That was a hand-me-down
From who?
from my Aunt Lillian and one of her children.
Now, you look like a sharecropper.
No, that was supposed to be a Mexican cowboy type.
Oh, that's so it's like a costume.
Yeah, that's a Casa Mardi Gras. By the way, my mama, that wasn't a costume for her.
I'm about
That's
to
the
say,
way
she look like she got regular clothes on. So
No, my mama was real. That was real. Mine was my, my Mardi Gras outfit.
now, did y'all shop for clothes?
We shop Five Fingers.
About so, or did you steal your clothes?
No, we didn't. We really didn't shop. Most, the way I first came up, I don't even remember clothes. I really don't remember clothes. We played in our drawers. We just had on a pair of drawers and stuff.
For the white people out there watching, drawers or underwear?
Drawers. I don't say no underwear.
And I'm helping my fans out there who may not know the Negro vernacular.
Oh, okay. All right. You can handle that. Yeah, but the drawers, undershirt, maybe little T-shirt every so often. Did a lot of shopping at Goodwill. If that didn't work,
That existed back then?
well, they had charity places. I call them Goodwill. We called them Goodwill. I don't even know if it was around at that time, but we called it Goodwill joint.
Okay, but your mom's clothes look kind of nice though.
Lordy Jesus, no, man. That wasn't nice.
And
That coat was probably 3 times her age.
Oh yeah. So would you describe your upbringing as poor?
No, I would say beyond poor.
Oh, so lower than poor.
Yeah.
Impoverished?
Yeah, it was, we used to, you hear about people in New York in what they call the ghettos and stuff. And when we saw or read stuff about the ghetto, it was like, man, I'd love to live in the ghetto. I'm serious, man.
What did the ghetto have that y'all didn't have?
Running water, heat,
Wait, time out.
fan, light.
You didn't have running water growing up?
No, there was a spigot out. There was a spigot out there somewhere. Out there, you go and there was no water in the house. We used to I tell you how we used to bathe.
Okay.
Here's how we used to bathe. We had a big number 10 tub, galvanized steel tub that sat out in the yard area, dirt. Wasn't the yard like with green, it was dust.
Right.
And we catch rainwater. Rainwater was out when it rained. We loved the rain because we'd have buckets in the house to catch the water as it fell through the various openings in the roof.
To drink it?
There's only one roof because it's a one-room shack. What'd you say? You saying something I can tell.
You catch the rainwater so you can drink it?
No, we took that rainwater and we put it in the tub and we took a bath with it.
A cold bath?
If it was summertime, yeah. Wintertime, we used to hot it up. Put bricks on it. We had sat on bricks, put wood and paper up underneath it, hot the water up.
In the house?
There's something wrong here. What's it? Say again?
You hot it up inside the house or outside?
Outside. The tub was sitting outside.
What if it's raining?
Well, we didn't take a bath if it was raining.
Oh, that's nasty.
We still bucketed the water, poured it in the tub and leave it there and just collect more water.
Now you're telling the truth, right?
Yeah, I'm telling the truth. Like I know you think no, I didn't hear that. I see you laughing, but I didn't hear it, whatever you said.
Now I was laughing at you saying, yeah, you told the truth.
Oh yeah, I'm telling the truth. Yeah. Let's see how I wanted to say that. I know you figure some people's formative years start around 12 to 17. Mine start. I think your formative years start when your first memory hit you in the face.
Hmm.
And my first memory was one room shack, the places I'm telling you about, with an outhouse, and that was it. Kerosene stove, nails coming through the walls to hold the tar paper from the outside. That was life. We were poor, but we were happy poor.
Okay.
I'm serious. We had a lot of fun being poor.
Now, I want to what was I gonna say? I'm gonna switch to a different picture because I want to make this like a series. We're gonna do this over time, so you can put a pin in that because I want to dig deeper into just the logistics and the workflow of that lifestyle, like bathing, grocery shopping, clothes, like just the functions of life, right? But I'm a park that for now. We're going to the next picture. So speaking of Simpsons and family characters, on the screen right now, I have Papoose. Talk about your brother, my uncle.
That's my oldest brother. His real name is Maharaja, which is really a title.
Maharaja.
Maharaja.
I know you about to
Yeah.
get to this Indian stuff.
No, it was a. I mean, we know that today as a title, but his name was Maharaja.
Who named him?
Our father did. My
Now,
mother really didn't have a say in naming the children. We're gonna get to that probably.
so real quick, just give me the elevator pitch on how many siblings were there altogether?
9 of us lived. Well, my mother had a couple of miscarriages, but 9 of us lived.
Okay,
You want me to name them or what?
no, no. So, but explain that divide. How the older ones live with your father,
Oh, okay. Got you.
and then how they kept having
Right.
babies, but you didn't. And the younger ones, you were the oldest of the second set of kids, right?
Correct. Right.
How did that work?
Um, my mother was really. She got married very young. I think she was 16,
Oh.
and
They were actually married.
yeah, they were actually married.
Hmm.
But I think later on in life, I really felt like it was like a how would you say it?
Jump over the broom marriage.
It was like a racket. Like grandmother and my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, uh, she was kind of like an evil woman. I think she wanted children. She only had one, which was uh, my mama's husband. Okay, and she just
What's
had
his
babies,
oh,
and
what's his name? Why you always say you don't ever say what is his name?
Sarab, man,
So
Sarab. Everybody called him Rock.
Rock, and it was Sarab. How you spell that?
Sorrob.
Sarab. Okay, keep going. So basically, your daddy was a mama's boy.
Yeah. I think that whole side of the family was kind of sick, but uh, only thing my mama could do was make babies, and when the baby came, uh, my grandmother Lucille was her name. Lucille actually raised the children and mothered and nursed them, and they became attached to their grandmother, and she was actually called her mama, and they called their mother, their real mother, they called her Marie,
Which is your mother.
which is our mother. Correct.
Do you call her Marie too, or did you call her mom?
Oh no, no, I didn't. I call her mom.
Okay, because you weren't raised by that evil grandwoman Lucille.
No, no, I wasn't raised by her. What happened? The break came on shortly after I was born. After I was born, my mother had probably had enough of it by by that time. So what she did, the routine was Lucille would go to the school to pick up the girls, Lucy and Marietta, my sisters. My mother couldn't go there to get them. She wasn't allowed to even, she was like a non-entity. So Lucille would go pick them up, bring them home, and blah, blah, blah. Well, my mother decided, I guess at this point, she had had enough. So she had me in a bundle in her arms, and she met Lucille down at Corpus Christi Elementary School, and she threw me to the ground. She didn't gently lay me, so I was told. She dropped me to the ground, and she knocked every tooth she could out of Lucille's head. So, and then she left.
Your mama
And
beat up.
that's what the divide was.
So your mama beat up her husband's mama,
Yeah, her mother-in-law.
knocked the teeth out, took you. Why couldn't she go get the other kids though?
Oh no, you couldn't do that.
Who would stop you?
Well, the whole house would be against her. You had Lucille, you had her husband who was a big giant, you had Rock, you had the kids. The kids didn't want to go. That was Marie. That wasn't their mama. So they wasn't gonna.
So let me get.
And the law was not involved.
There was no family court and things like that back then.
I guess there were, but they didn't help us.
Because of
They didn't help.
racist stuff, or just because people didn't know?
I guess most of the women, because I know a couple of your shows talking about how the women were. My mama was not that way. She was more submissive until she broke. Then she got resubmissive. Because the other kids, I remember as she separated and went her separate way, every so often this little postcard would come in the mail, and it'd be something written on the back, and it'd have a Y in quotation marks. And I could never figure it out, but it said something about would like to see you.
Who?
Rock. So my mother would, all of a sudden, she would say, I'll be back. And she'd leave. And I'd be there by myself. And then 9 months later, bloop, another baby would drop.
All right, so let me back up for a second. The older kids, so when your mom was married to Rock, did they live together?
Yeah, all of them was in that one house on Galvin Street, yeah.
So after she punched out Lucille, where did she have to live? Did she just go find a place?
She went over by Lillian's house. That's her sister, my Lillian.
Oh, until she can get her own spot.
Yeah, temporarily, right. That was just a holding spot.
I got you. Now, Papoose, he has a history. Talk about that.
Woo! Yeah, he was. I don't even know where to begin.
Didn't he do some time?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Didn't he do some time?
Yeah, most of he spent more time in Angola than he did on Galvin Street.
What's Angola?
You Google it, you see big time prison.
I know what Angola is. I'm saying it for the fans.
Oh, that's a penitentiary in Louisiana. It's a free farming for the state. Nothing but brother man in there most of the time.
So like
there's
slaves.
There's a couple of white boys, but they want to be coloreds.
So they're basically slaves.
Oh, slaving ain't the word, man. Yeah. Yes, it's a real plantation. Real plantation. They plant potatoes. They harvest.
Where is it located geographically, though? Is it up in the country?
In Angola.
Yes,
out in the country. Oh, yeah.
Now, what was his longest stretch for?
I can't remember.
Didn't he shoot some people or try to shoot some people?
No. He he hurt quite a few people, but he never was. That wasn't his really like, that's not where his profile is when they give you your picture and put your thumbs and stuff on. That was Robin
Wait, hold on.
and
I seen an article, or is that maybe I'm confusing him with
no,
the.
that's why I'm trying to tell you. No, that's Yook. Yook was the best of all of us. Yook was a great kid. Yook was the one who shot somebody.
Hold
Shot
on.
a police. They shot the police officer.
Wait, hold on. I ain't got Yook's. I don't have Yook's picture up, so you can't talk about Yook yet because I need the picture. So we'll do that next
Oh,
show.
okay.
We'll do that
Yeah.
next
So
show.
Pap. So the one you're looking at, Pap. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
No, Pap. Pap was the oldest. All three of the older boys spent most of their lives in the penitentiary. All of them. All
BB
three
two.
of them.
BB two.
Oh yeah, every last one of them.
Give
Yeah.
me the
Last
real
one.
name. So the Papoose is Maharaji. Yucca is,
Mohammed.
and then BB.
Bibi. Bibi is Abul. Abul.
Here's my question. Here's why I'm confused. The names don't make sense because Maharaji is like a Hindu name, and Muhammad and Abu are Muslim.
Yeah, but that's so. I mean, so
But Muslims and Hindus hate each other. How they gonna give them? They don't. How they gonna have both?
people, they in those days, man, they wasn't thinking about that. For the longest, most of my family thought they were Turks until I got old enough and just figured out certain things and started to research and figured out you're not a Turk. You're from India. Your roots are from India, Middle Eastern India, not Turkey. They used to call us Turk. They used to call a rock, I think was referred to. Oh, you know Turk? Like Turk for being a turkey.
Right. But
We were not Turkish.
so how about but Rock? Your father's mom's name's Lucille. Was she
Well,
from India?
she was a Martin.
What does that mean?
Her maiden name is Martin. She had nothing to do with Middle Eastern India.
So what was her husband? What was the father? What was Rock's father? What was he?
Oh, Rock's father was from then Calcutta, which I think is Mumbai now. Rock's father was Roston. His name was Roston, Rosten, Ali. And I saw the paperwork. He did come over on a boat from India, Calcutta.
Did he
Landed
live
in New York or docked in New York.
he was a doctor?
No, docked.
Oh, docked. So did he live in the house with Lucille, Rock, and all them people?
You're breaking up bad.
Did he live in the house with your father and his mother?
Not to my knowledge, no. Not with no.
So when you say
When
she had
I came along,
when you say she had a big old husband in the house, that was somebody else.
second marriage, that was he was a Dago.
Oh, an Italian?
Yeah, Dago.
Some people don't know what a Dago is.
Yeah.
They're not up on their
Yeah,
racist term.
I-tie. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, New Orleans got a lot of I-ties. Italians.
Didn't Papoose try to shoot his ex-girlfriend and father or something through that? I seen a newspaper clipping of that.
Yeah, I got the newspaper clip. No, he confronted him and then he tried to throw some acid in his face. He didn't want to hurt him too bad. He just tried to throw some acid in his
Where you
face.
get acid from? From like a car battery?
Probably car battery. Yeah, I don't know where he got it from, but yeah, he tried to. Yeah,
And he did time for that though, right?
yeah, they pressed charges. Yeah, that was standard.
You said they did not press charges?
No, the father did. The wife was. I think they were separating at the time, and she kind of I guess bailed him out. Didn't want to, I guess, back her father or whatever. I don't know how that whole situation went.
So he tried to throw battery acid in her in his wife's father's
in his
face.
father-in-law's face.
But I could have sworn the newspaper clipping said he had double attempted murder beef.
Well, he had those too, but I mean that wasn't at that particular encounter.
Well, can you elaborate in any other Papooses crimes before we go on to the next picture?
No, I got to protect names.
No, we have to document this and put it into like a time capsule using the internets.
Yeah, but I wasn't part of his crime enterprise. I don't know. The only thing I know was after he was going to jail, or the police came over and snatched him and took him in handcuffs, and they went away.
You know more than you saying. All right, we'll move on to the next one. We'll talk offline about. You ain't got nothing to lose, man.
No, it's not that I'm. Now, I don't know all of their doings. I really don't. You got to realize there's 5 above me. I'm number 6. When they were hitting that, I mean, I wasn't even aware of some things because we were separated. I mean, I left as an infant.
Mm-hmm. But you did. But I remember when Pap, Yucca, and BB, when we lived in San Bernardino, over on Eucalyptus, would come over. Y'all played pinochle, and especially Yuck was funny. So I remember them dudes. So I know y'all had to talk because I remember them. All right, we'll leave it.
But I still don't. But I don't remember all their crimes, other than they tried to. They would talk about the funny parts of it and some of the goings on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Yucca would be the getaway driver or whatever, and but he fell asleep, and they come out of a bank. No, I'm serious.
When they're robbing
they come
banks?
out the bank and they say, "Where is it?" And Yucca's down the street somewhere, and all of a sudden he hears sirens and shit, and he goes, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" He jumps in the car. This time, Pap and them firing guns and cops shooting. And Yucca's like, "Well, I can't go in all that shit." He turns right, just keeps going.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, they got funny stuff like that. Yeah. That's most of this shit was funny. This shit was really funny, except I think Papoose was. I think he went off a bit because there was a number of times I think he killed people that they never found out about or knew about because some dude pissed him off at a Mardi Gras one time, and Pap just turned around, walked away from the guy, and the guy, yeah, Moses, and Pap just walked away. And he reached down and he grabbed a ball peen hammer. And the dude turned away, yeah, motherfucker, like, yeah, I showed you. And Pap walked up behind you, whacked him right in the back of his head. Dude fell out, blood and guts everywhere,
That's one that I do remember about. Pap was the quietest one. Like, he's the one I didn't know the most. Like, Yuk was like the entertainer.
Oh, he was.
He was funny.
B was the intellectual.
Yeah, B was quiet and kind of like intense, and Pap was kind of like somewhere else. He was just like,
Yeah, you had to be careful around him because he would shoot. Whatever he had in his hand, if you angered him, he would kill you. That's just the way he was.
So you're glad you didn't grow up with that. So what do you think the cause of all that was? Was it their upbringing? Was it the Lucille? Was it the Rock? Who was the make them crazy person?
The next crazy person you said?
Who made them all like that? Because you were just as poor as them, probably poorer, but none of y'all ended up being. You, Leroy, none of y'all was criminals.
No, but I think Dennis was kind of criminal, but not to that extent. Dennis was a sneaky criminal.
Yeah, like a petty thief or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's a petty thief. And he wasn't going to jail. He became a cop so he wouldn't go to jail.
Oh, he was a cop.
Oh yeah, but they had to let him go. Like, no, Danny, go. He, I'm serious. It's like, no, we know why you want to be a cop. Go. Yeah.
Now, let's shift gears here. Who in the hell is this white man?
Which white man?
It's a
Because
picture.
Baum was a white man, and there's a couple of white guys.
It's a picture of a man. Looks like he has a trench coat on with one of those little funny ties. No
And
hair,
a big mustache.
no hair on the face. Hair parted like this. Um, a jacket, a little comfortable.
Black.
Is he black?
Is it a black jacket?
It's a black
The
and
coat?
white. It's a black and white photo, so it's hard to tell. Looks like it would be a gray jacket with a black suit underneath it.
Oh man, you got me for that one. I'm sorry.
God damn it! You sent me
Can
the
you
picture,
temporarily go to another picture right quick?
huh?
Can you go to another picture right quick?
Well, that's it. The last one I was gonna do was. You don't know what this is? You sent me the picture.
I know, but oh man, let me see if can I get off of the screen and look on this computer right quick.
Yeah, look at the link you sent me.
How did I send it to you?
Oh, forget it. We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time. All right. So last picture, I got you. It looks like you got a short head, short haircut. Is that Vietnam? It's you just with a mustache, clean shaven, and your hair buzz cut.
Yeah, that's now.
All right, talk about Vietnam real quick.
Uh, what you want to know about Vietnam? I was in intelligence gathering, so I wasn't killing no, gooks and stuff.
Was it fun? Was Vietnam more fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, the people were great until Tet came around. That was a big offensive movement by the Viet Cong. Um, it was very good. I really liked Vietnam. I liked the people, very warm people. Um, they just wanted their little plot of land, plant their little rice. They didn't want all that shit. America's the one went in there and
Messed it up.
well tried to make it what's the word I'm looking for? Make it a capitalist society. They just want plant their little rice and everybody else have fun, enjoy life. But we didn't want to hear that. We brought industry in there, and they didn't even know how to do stuff. I knew quite a few Vietnamese, but then Tet came in and that was scary. That's when that was the big Tet offensive. That was the beginning of the end.
Do I have
1960. Huh?
no finish? Go ahead, finish.
1967, the Tet offensive began, and that's when I was there. And then
How much time were you in Vietnam for?
a little over a year.
So just one tour?
I had to get out because I'm sorry.
Just one tour then?
Yeah, I was going to stay longer because I didn't want Lee to come over. That was, who Lee is, your uncle.
I know.
Uh,
I know.
He came over, so. No, I'm just saying I was going to stay to protect him from coming because they couldn't.
Was that an option they provided people? Like if you stay,
Yeah, in times of war, specifically Vietnam, if there was two brothers didn't have to, if they didn't want to be in Vietnam at the same time.
oh wow.
Yeah. So when Lee told me he had joined the military, he was coming over. It was hard for me. I said, "I'll stay. You don't have to come. That's an option. We can exercise." And he said, "No, I'm coming." So I said, "Well, all right then." I said, "If you come, I'm gone." So like you say, the rest is history. He came anyway. I left, and he got a Silver Star and a Bronze Star. So
Like shooting people?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We gotta
Well,
get
not.
we gotta get Lee on the show. So we gotta do the full
Well, Lee ain't
spectrum.
gonna talk. But you know, Lee ain't talking about that boy.
But you gotta make them though.
Oh Lord, no, I couldn't do that.
If we do the whole like, if we get Joseph to talk to him, and we can say it's like we're doing this family history thing where we're gonna try to, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, I don't know what the word is. I can't think. But basically, like, we got to
But you,
capture this stuff.
but you can't ask people to go back to dark places.
Yes, you can.
No, you can, but you're not gonna get nothing.
All right.
You can do a lot of things. I'm just saying, I might get food, but I raised him as a child. I changed his diapers and I fed him. I think I know him pretty well.
All
As a
right.
matter of
Well,
fact, he may not appear.
all right. Well, with that, we're going to try to stay on a tight schedule. I'm going to try to squeeze in some random thoughts. I don't know if I have time or not, but we're going to do this again. We'll make it, oh, look, hold on. Let me put this on the thing. Hold on. Your son, oh, yeah. Your son just said, what the WTF daddy on Facebook. I know the world about to end. Just pulled up to my first stop, y'all.
Stupid.
I'm about to hit the power. Oh, he said he about to hit the Powerball.
The
Anyway,
boy's a
huh?
traitor.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway. All right, pops. I'm about to go into random thoughts and try to squeeze it in. We're gonna do this every Thursday. It's gonna be must see TV. We're gonna create a movement of black folks who got family from a different time, and we're gonna let them tell their stories. We're gonna have it right here on the internets. All right,
Peace. I didn't.
peace. Random
You need
thoughts,
to.
y'all.
You need to work. You need to work on that.
I
Yes,
know,
mess.
I know. Random thoughts. Get my bag ready. Yes, sir. All right, I'm back, and as you can see, that's right. We're doing it right tonight. Let this joint cook up a little bit. Thank you, Mark Ali. My brother just nominated me for president. Matter of fact, I'm dropping it in the screen. I agree, Mark. I think I should be president. Where the fuck did it go? I got to figure out how to make them things go where I want them to go. So here's the random thoughts part of the show. We're in the denouement. We're actually over time, believe it or not. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get this show down in 30 minutes. So I'm going to rush through my random thoughts. I'm not going to be able to smoke with y'all. I can do my pen. Oh, let me hit a pen. Why this is see, we gotta wait for this to get to we could just sit here. What do they call that? When you just like watch videos, people like eating cereal. It's like shit. People call it satisfying or something. We can just sit here and see how long it takes for the volcano to reach 368 degrees Fahrenheit, the optimal temperature for vaporizing flour product. I'm so excited. I should have pushed the button earlier though. Here we go. Hold on. So this is a good segue. So I was talking to my pops, and we actually had an argument last night. Me, my pops, my brother were on the phone, And I was telling a story about how my second oldest son said he don't like black girls. And the shit pissed me off. And so my response was essentially, um, don't bring that white bitch to my house. So we got to a discussion. My dad got mad at me because I was like, okay, I got 5 kids. Now let's say all 5 of my kids have 3 kids. Then I got 15 grandkids. To me, I believe as though I don't have an obligation as a grandparent to love all my grandchildren or support them or interact with them equally. So I don't know if that makes me a Neanderthal or whatever, but I don't want no little fucking mulatto grandchildren. I just don't. And I told him you can go with a Latin or black. But here's the thing: it's not that I'm racist; it's that they racist. You understand? Now, what if you get with this white girl, and now at Thanksgiving I got all these MAGA people at my house? No, I'm sorry. And then the Asians, they worse. They more racist. That's facts. So that was the poll I wanted to do too. What do y'all think? Is there, like, with your own kids, you can't play favorites, right? That's fucked up. That's like your kids. You responsible for them. But grandkids, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Could be not. They got to make it worth your while. Or am I crazy? Am I a bad guy? Because my thing is, I done raised so many goddamn kids. Plus, I probably gonna have some more kids. I got strong sperm. And anyway, I want to go talk to those details. But yeah, after raising all these kids, I'm not trying to be fucking with grandkids like that. Not all the time. And if I am gonna fuck with the grandkids, they gotta look right. I don't. And here's the thing: you saw my father, and you saw them people in the family and all stuff. We go. Now we're cooking with grease. We just gonna let that jump play. Hold on, bring the song in right here. I need my son to give me some more beats. Nigga slipping. What the fuck? Oh boy. We're all family. We're more of a serious show today. We talked about news, but you gotta have balance in life. What? This right here is balance. I forgot what I was talking about. So, all right, so fuck that. Fuck the grandchildren. Um, I'm going to Finland on May 25th. So, a little less than 2 weeks. Now, I'm really excited about going. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about the trip itself. Like being, because travel, because I travel a lot. Traveling itself is unhealthy. Just the fucking radiation from the plane, that recirculated air. Right? I'm not worried about Finland though. Like they're more worried about me bringing your American germs over there. So I gotta be thinking, like, why would you buy a first class ticket now? You could just like walk up to the first class, I'm sure. But it made me remember when I used to fly a lot, when I did that route from Puerto Rico to DC to New Jersey for work, and I would get comped all the time because it was a United's route, so I was in first class all the time. And the funniest shit, not that I paid for first class, but the funniest shit was you would always see people when they walk on a plane. They know they not nowhere near first class. In the 30s by the toilet. They slow down around the seat 4 or 5. Like, nah, bitch. Keep it moving. You in the cheap seats. My other random thought is wrist phones. You remember back in like Star Trek days? Like, motherfuckers do this to talk or talk to the wrist. Well, now you can do it. Right? You can talk on the fucking iWatch or Apple Watch, whatever they call it. But who wants to? What are these nerds be thinking about? Like, who in the fuck wants their conversation on the wrist? I want people here, at least with a speakerphone, when you're on your phone and you're on speaker, and then the subject matter changes or somebody else walk in the room, you can go, ah. If you're on your phone watch in the kitchen and your phone's over there and somebody walk in that you don't want to hear what you got to say, you don't have no recourse. Like, shh. That's what I'm saying. These nerds don't have girlfriends. And the final thought, because I'm running long today, is don't nobody give a shit about bands breaking up after the age of 30. My kids were talking the other day about some band, because I don't know, one of them little, I don't fucking know. My daughter's like pop music, my boys are like trap music. Oh, I don't know. But I was tripping because I was like, you know what? I haven't gave a shit about a band breaking up in 20 plus years, or maybe 20, 18 years. But that's a big deal. It's part of your growing up. Whenever you still hear, you see documentaries now and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, well, not the Rolling Stones, but like that baby boomer generation, like that mattered to them. For my life, it was like EPMD and NWA. Like that was I gave a shit. I was like, NWA breaking up. Then the beefs and all that stuff. Now I really don't fucking care. And nor should you. Stop trying to be young. Act your age. All right. Well, I think this show is a little more organized. I'm going to try to keep it, moving and improving. Exactly, Mark. Yay, Mark's my fan tonight. My man. I'm going to DC tomorrow. Okay. We're doing a holding court reunion. We're trying to get the band back together. You got me, Antar, me, Isis, Antar, Kissy, me, and Sean. Okay. Finally got back in touch with the lovely Isis Harris. That's like the home girl. She was our lane. We about to turn all the way up. Oh, by the way, we want to try to get her son on here too. Her son stars in the the Wu-Tang Saga on Hulu. She's an actress. Got her debut on my show, Holding Court, or our show, Holding Court. She's a real actress, been in movies and stuff. Then her son is an actor. I think you call women actors now too. Like actress is like trivial or like insulting or something. So she's an actor. He's an actor. Okay. That's what's up. So you check me out. I might do a show if I bring my laptop's acting crazy. I might just go ahead and cop a new one, but the fucking Mac store is not open, and I'm not trying to order shit and wait for it because if I want it tomorrow. So if this one's not too glitchy, I'm gonna just stick with using the desktop. Because look, I'm using my desktop, and I got my laptop right here. So my iMac is right there. Using this, but I might have to cop something else. I'll take any suggestions, whatever y'all say. But anyway, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. If not, maybe I'll do a weekend show and we got the gang back together and we're hitting this volcano, playing board games and watching those shows. You can watch them with us. Peace. Oh, fuck, it didn't work. I don't know. Here we go.